Hey everyone, we thought we would do something a little bit different today because we are getting so many reach outs about Frisco and Prosper that we thought we would compare the two so that you guys can see the good, the bad, the ugly, most of the good because they're great cities. New friend here named John. John is a local realtor and he's a friend of mine, like I said, and he and I are pairing up to bring you guys even more amazing information about all the cities in the living around life in Dallas-Fort Worth. And so you're going to be seeing a lot more of him, and I think you're going to love it because he's so much fun and has so much knowledge about the metroplex. So this is John.
Hey guys.
So first, I want to take you through just a few of the stats between Frisco and Prosper. Everybody knows, if you've watched my videos on Frisco, that it's one of the fastest growing cities in the whole nation. And it's about 69 square miles. It's certainly way bigger than feet. It's 69 square miles. It's got about 218,000 people in it as of the recording of this video. Prosper is about a third of the size, and it's got about 38,000 people in it. So they're very different cities, very different sized, and to be honest, Frisco has a lot more commercialization to it so far than Prosper does. And we're gonna show you all of that as we take you around Prosper and Frisco and really truly give you a good understanding of what the two cities look like and how they differ. Both of the cities actually are rated really high in best places to raise a family. Frisco's rated number 7 and Prosper's rated number 21. You can go look up niche.com. They rank it out of about 416 suburbs. And what all is it ranked on?
Oh man, crime rate, cost of living, there's information in there about school districts.
Yeah, diversification, all the things you would want to know about cities. That's what they are ranked on in niche.com.
Is it rolling? It's rolling. And action. Okay, so Tiffany mentioned schools. There are just over 1,000 school districts in the state of Texas. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in Western Kentucky. I tell people I'm lucky I can count above 20 without taking my shoes and socks off. So relative to Western Kentucky schools, it's hard to beat any Texas school district, but specifically Prosper and Frisco. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find two more competitive school districts than Prosper ISD and Frisco ISD. Both of these school systems are known for putting out high-level academics, athletics, irrespective of what your student is into. My daughter played lacrosse and was in the band, but there's wrestling and baseball, swimming, not to mention football and baseball and basketball. I think I said baseball twice.
You can say baseball as many times as you want.
We're not going to mention baseball at all, but they do play baseball and they're pretty good at it. Super competitive. So speaking of athletics, if you're into sports, personal training, coaching, speed and agility, strength and conditioning, if you want to start a business in any of those modalities, this is the place to be.
It is. There's coaches that come from all over the nation to teach kids here because it's that competitive.
Yeah. Whether they're super competitive or they just want to be good at the sport that they've chosen, hockey, soccer.
Did you mention baseball?
I think they have baseball. There might be 1,000 baseball fields. But not just baseball, there's softball, there's kickball. I don't know if kickball's not a UIL sport, but it should be. You know what? When I'm president in 2024, we're going to make sure kickball is UIL.
I think that's a great idea.
I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but my daughter went to Prosper schools from pre-K all the way through graduation. And she just started at the University of North Texas. She has one core class. Everything else at UNT, all the way through her bachelor's program, is going to be electives because all of her core stuffs was stuffs. All of her core stuffs, it's a clinical term. It's technical. It was all covered through the education that she got through Prosper High School.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Just up the road, speaking of North Texas, in Frisco off of Preston Road, there is a University of North Texas campus at Frisco. Be sure to check out the vlogs for Frisco for more details on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've done several vlogs in the past on Frisco. You guys can look back in our history we talk about the University of North Texas and Collin County College and all the higher education that Frisco has implemented into really putting itself on the map as far as education.
So we're actually expecting to double in size in the next 3 to 5 years. There's is it a bill that they're proposing? Mm-hmm. It's a proposition that is about to be voted on. So no matter how you cut it, there's a lot of people that want to be here, and there's a reason for that, and hopefully we're gonna explore that with you.
Okay, guys, let's talk dining, shopping, and entertainment as far as Frisco. You guys hear those flags? See the flags?
They're actually applauding us.
They are. They think we're doing a very good job. So, when it comes to comparing Prosper and Frisco, there's really not a big comparison when it comes to entertainment, dining, and shopping. Because Frisco just blows Prosper out of the water at this point because Frisco is just got a lot more going on right now. And it's 3 times as big as Prosper. In 2000, Prosper had 1 stoplight. Did you know that in 2000? Isn't that crazy? It has exploded.
And it was always green.
Nobody needed to stop. As far as Frisco, you have the Star, which is where the Dallas Cowboys practice. It's Jerry Jones's office. Our brokerage actually offices out of the Star. It's got so many restaurants and fun shopping. You've got the Rough Riders, which is our minor league baseball team. One of the cool things about the Rough Riders is when you go and watch a game, they actually have a lazy river pool.
In the outfield.
Yes, and you can get a floaty and be in the pool and watch the game, which I think is amazing.
It's a blast.
How many options are there to do that in this nation? There's also FC Dallas, which is our soccer team at Toyota Stadium. And then you've got, the PGA of America. So the PGA actually started in Florida, and we had a huge development of land come available here in Frisco. And they went to the PGA and said, you guys need to be here. It's perfect land. The development's going to be beautiful, and you guys can just have your headquarters there. And the PGA agreed and moved here, and it's unbelievable. We're gonna show you some of the footage at the PGA. If you come visit, let us know. We can meet you out there, because any excuse to go to the PGA and enjoy that area, we're on board. So, do you golf?
I play, not well.
Don't call Jono to golf.
Yeah.
That's what I heard him say.
I'm really good at driving the cart.
I wanted to interrupt. Guys, if you have questions, drop below or reach out to my cell phone that's on the screen right now and ask me all your questions, because Jono and I, we're here to get those answers for you.
There's also a Soccer National Hall of Fame at the Toyota Stadium, and it's pretty cool. It gives you the whole background on soccer and how it came to be and how it's such a huge sport globally. Have y'all heard of Dude Perfect? So it's a phenomenon, and they're actually building a multi-million-dollar headquarters here. They haven't told us where. They're keeping it very secretive. But they're here. They all live here. They actually live close to where I live. And their houses look very different than mine, though.
Yeah, if you're a big Dude Perfect fan, you will always run into them if you eat at Salsa's here in Prosper. So a little fun fact.
There you go. Universal Studios is coming to Frisco.
Gosh.
So that's going to be huge. It's actually geared towards ages 6 to 12. They have said, Universal Studios said that it's not going to be like any other park they've ever developed. It's a brand new concept. Some people have been worried about traffic, but the mayor himself said that we have a H-E-B here. You guys, if y'all don't know what H-E-B is, it's an amazing grocery store, and there were lines out the door to try to get in when it opened up. And they actually said that the traffic implications of the H-E-B is bigger than the traffic implications for the Universal Studios. So don't fear that. Our infrastructure was really well put into place when they formed Frisco. Also, did you know that Frisco is one of the first cities in the nation that the infrastructure was thought out to be one of the first cities for autonomous cars, so self-driving cars? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yep, that's what the mayor told me, Jeff Cheney. Also, some things you can do with your family is we've got the National Video Game Museum, which is amazing. We've done a video on it. Go back and watch it. They've got the Museum of American Railroads. That's why Frisco is even on the map, because we used to be a town called Lebanon, but the railroad didn't build itself close to Lebanon, and so the whole town moved over and became Frisco because it was close to the railroad. We've also got the Frisco Heritage Museum and the Discovery Center. The Discovery Center is all about science, and it's a really great place to take your kids. So I feel like Frisco has very well-rounded places to go that are family-oriented, and then the shopping, there are so many fun shopping areas. There's Heirloom, there's Flea Style, there's restaurants, there's Tupelo Honey, there's Wahlburgers.
We're gonna go shopping for Tiffany. What's your favorite spot?
I like Flea Style. It's a little boutique at the Star, and what I love about Flea Style is they actually have a little hat area where you can pick out your hat, and then you pick out all the things that you want to put on that wide brim hat, and it can be tassels, it can be feathers, it can be initials. You can burn the stamps. You know how they do that? Mm-hmm. So it's a fun little place. They also have a modern twist of tea time. So if you want to have your girlfriends out, you can do that. There's all kinds of moms and daughter teas. I mean, I guess you can go as a guy. Guys drink tea, right? No? It doesn't matter. If you drink tea, you can go. I'm saying
This
it.
is a judgment-free zone.
It's a judgment-free zone.
I have not experienced the tea at tea time, but that's not to say I won't do that tomorrow.
I'm going to take you. We're going to go have tea.
We're gonna have tea sometime.
And you're going to put your pinky out.
It's gonna be great.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about nightlife for a second. What's your favorite spot, nightlife-wise, in Frisco or Prosper?
Prosper doesn't have a lot of nightlife. I'm just going to put that out there. And to be honest, I mean, Frisco, it's so family oriented that if you're wanting to do nightlife, it's really going to be like a restaurant or a museum or a symphony, maybe an outdoor concert. We do have a place called Concrete Cowboy that's at the Star. And at 9 o'clock, it does turn into a little bit of a discoteca.
Little club action.
Little club action. So if that's your thing, then you would want to go to Concrete Cowboy. But other than that, it's pretty laid back. You would want to go to Dallas or, Addison if you wanted some real nightlife. Frisco's just more really family friendly.
Yeah. What about the Monarch Stag?
Oh my gosh. Okay, the Monarch Stag is so cool. It's at the Star as well. They have an aerialist. So she's on what looks to be a big hula hoop suspended in the air, and she does all this acrobatics suspended from the ceiling, and you're eating below her. So it's the coolest experience. So if you want a really unique experience, go to Monarch Stag. You have to make reservations because it's very, very tiny. I mean, maybe 60 people. It's very small.
Oh, wow.
So it's very much a unique experience that you would have to get reservations for.
All right, so let's say you're done with the nightlife and you want to maybe get the mountain bike out, parks, trails. What do you think of that?
I know Prosper has a lot. Specific to Frisco, one of the cool things that Frisco has done is they have over 30 continuous miles of trails, and they're all interconnected, and you can get all over the city. And what the mayor did is he made all of this 30 plus miles of trails not go over any major intersection. So if it does go over a major street, he actually made it go under. So your kids, anyone can walk, bike, skateboards, whatever, maybe golf cart, but you'll never have to go over a major intersection. In fact, you can get all the way from the Omni PGA to the University of North Texas and never cross a major street. So it just was very well thought out. Beyond the fact that we have a ton of parks, they have Grand Park coming, and it's going to be huge. It's actually going to be 10 times the size of Central Park. And it's going to have all kinds
The Central Park?
Yes. In New York City. But yes, it's going to be bigger than Central Park. And it's going to have an outdoor amphitheater. It's going to have water. It's going to have hard trails and soft trails. So it's just going to be amazing. I can't wait because it's right by my house and I can't wait to experience it. Let's talk a little bit about Prosper because I feel like we're just oogling over Frisco. But Prosper, tell me.
Frisco is great.
It is.
Frisco is great.
Jono lives in Prosper and I live in Frisco. So we both...
Well, I think at the end of this, we're going to have a cage match. But you're right. They're two completely different cities.
Yes.
In fact, I've been known to say I live in Frisco, but I sleep in Prosper. You could say Prosper is a bedroom community. There's some great restaurants, but they're more laid back. I'm a big Mexican food guy. I love salsas. Their patio's amazing. There's always a crowd out there. It's like peopling.
Yes.
People watching or peopling in general, you're going to find ample opportunities in both cities. Now, Prosper, I would say, is a little quieter. On a Sunday afternoon, if you drive down El Dorado, you're not really driving, you're sitting in traffic.
That's in Frisco. El Dorado's in Frisco.
El Dorado's in Frisco. Whereas if you drive down Prosper Trail or Preston on a Sunday afternoon, you're moving. There's just less people in Prosper, and they're neighbors right across 380 from each other.
Yes.
In fact, the PGA that Tiffany mentioned earlier sits right between Prosper and Frisco. Schools, we talked about, are amazing in both. Nightlife in Prosper, the extent of that is really going to be Silo Park or the Gin. I live in Prosper over by Reynolds Middle School, which is a couple miles away, but I can hear the band in my backyard, you know? But otherwise, if you're looking for something to do at night, you're either hanging out with people around the pool or the fire pit.
Or you're going to Frisco or to Dallas or Addison.
Or you're going to a neighboring city, right? So if that's more your jam and you want to walk to it, Frisco's probably the ticket. Or if you don't mind a 10, 15-minute drive, maybe look more at Prosper.
Yeah.
But you've got Gates of Prosper, which is a massive development that Jerry Jones is doing, the owner of the Cowboys. Tell us a little bit about the Gates of Prosper.
Man, they're going to have 1 million square feet of retail, and they're going to have like over 1,000 apartments, and they're actually even going to have single family and townhomes there. They're only in phase 3 right now of building it out. In fact, we just took a drone shot of the target, which you guys are going to see, and I want you all to notice how much open land is around that target because there's so many more phases of the Gates of Prosper that they're building. So it's going to be an absolute destination for Prosper, along with all the single family and townhomes that are coming as well.
Now, isn't there a website that people can go to? There's a rendering and there's drawings and there's a video. All right, so, but Prosper's not without its hiking and biking trails. We're out here at Children's Health Stadium. That's the band practicing in the background. But right behind me is Frontier Park. There's playground equipment and soccer fields, and they double as lacrosse fields, by the way. Baseball, softball.
I think we have.
There's a ton happening outside. And what's the temperature out here right now? It's about 90.
I would say
95.
90, yeah.
It feels like a balmy 72, given the 100-degree plus days we've been having.
Yes.
But it's nice out here. It's not too bad.
Yep.
Right?
If you guys haven't watched our prior videos on the twins of summer, that would be July and August.
Yeah.
And they are the hottest. And we are in August right now. It's just hot here. And y'all need to be prepared, if you're moving here, that it is hot. But
You get used to it.
you do. You get used to staying inside. That's what you get used to.
Well, and everybody's hot, so you just deal with being around a bunch of hot people. Right? Well, most people are hot. Some of us, what we lack in hotness, we make up in personality. Can I say that? All right, so this is a real estate channel. Let's talk about real estate in Prosper and Frisco.
And we're going to go and show you some of the subdivisions in Prosper. What is the median home price right now in Prosper?
The median home price right now in Prosper, $900,000.
Holy cow. You know what the median home price in Frisco is? $670,000. Who's more affordable?
Well, and why is that? What drives affordability? Supply and demand.
Yes, very true.
You know, there's no getting around it. These are two very affluent areas. The median income in Collin County, which is where both of these cities predominantly reside, is just over $100,000 a year. So it's expensive to live out here.
Yep.
Property taxes are high, but our roads are great, our schools are great. So it's,
And let us not forget to tell you guys that you could get into Prosper and Frisco in the high 300s, low 400s. It just may be a smaller, older home. But if you want to be in these cities with these school districts, reach out, because we can always see if there's a townhome. And if you're watching your finances, let us help. Comment below, tell us to reach out. Either way, we'll help you find what you're looking for. But we are going to show you subdivisions in both cities, and we're going to do it right now.
So this is actually one of my favorite neighborhoods, Windsong Ranch. I wish that I had had the foresight to buy in Windsong Ranch 8 years ago when people were paying $350,000 to own these houses, right? Because now they're a lot more expensive. The townhomes are going to range anywhere in the 600s, and then they go all the way up to $2 million. It's a very popular master plan community because it has a 5-acre actual beach lagoon. And the whole subdivision was built around this, and it's very popular with golf carts. And so it's kind of a status. Everyone has golf carts. Everybody drives their golf carts around. It's a lot of fun. They have golf cart parades. I even have friends that will drive their golf carts all the way to the Home Depot and then bring all of their supplies back on their golf cart. So it is not unusual to see like 2x4s sticking out the back of a golf cart because they've been to Home Depot. So what's awesome about this, and I believe equity-wise in the future, is it's only 4 miles away from the brand new PGA headquarters that's being built, that has been built, and of course all of the neighborhoods that are going in around it. What are your thoughts, Jono, on Windsong Ranch?
Man, when I think of Windsong Ranch, you hit the nail right on the head. I think of two prominent attributes: the lagoon and the golf carts. And if you haven't experienced both of those, you need to come check them out. It's so cool. Come into the lagoon on a Saturday afternoon, and all the moms have their tumblers with an assortment rather of refreshments, and the kids can just run and play. But then the golf carts, like, it's totally a community thing where you might be thinking, I don't need to have a golf cart if I live here. Yes, you do. It's part of the community, and that's part of the fun, is just being able to tool around the community and stop and chat with your neighbors on their golf carts and catch up quickly. It's kind of woven into the fabric of it. You got to check it out.
Now we're in Star Trail Ranch, and this neighborhood really ranges in the low 700s all the way up to the mid millions, so like 1.5 million. It's awesome because it's right by Windsong Ranch, so there is just a lot of newness about that area, and it's really close to everything, especially the PGA. It's a newer neighborhood with newer builds. And Jono, you live in Prosper, so what are your thoughts on Star Trail Ranch?
Man, being in a neighborhood like this with the proximity to the tollway, I think a lot of people sleep on that. Especially if you work in Dallas or work in Frisco and you want easy access, there's multiple ways to get in and out of the neighborhood. Hope Fellowship is about to open up their new Prosper campus right across from here. You've got Prestonwood Church has got their Prosper campus right across the street. HEB is coming in right across the street. The neighborhood is great for a lot of reasons, but the things that come to mind for me are proximity to all the things that Prosper has to offer.
All right, well, now we're in Willow Ridge, and not only is it a beautiful neighborhood, but the price range is really the 800 all the way up to probably 1.3 to 1.5 million. It's a little bit more of a mature neighborhood with bigger trees, and it's also actually really close to shopping and dining. So, Jono, tell us more.
This is one of my favorite neighborhoods in Prosper. It's an older community, but there was a lot of an intentionality that was thought about when they were designing it. There's a lot of topography, so the streets are winding. It's not that grid pattern that is kind of synonymous with North Texas. there's ponds and water features, and there's just a lot of variety in the houses. So it just feels different. But also where it's located, you're right off of Preston Road in the northeast corner of where 380 and Preston Road intersect. You could walk to the gates of Prosper, but there's not a cut through, which is kind of nice. You don't have a lot of the through traffic, but you're so close to everything that the gates of Prosper has to offer. You've got easy access to 380, easy access to Preston, easy access to the tollway. It's kind of the perfect spot, especially if you're looking at that East Prosper section.
So now we're at Lakes of La Cima, which is actually a really popular neighborhood in Prosper. I would say we're also looking at about $700,000 to that $1.3, $1.4 million mark. It has a great park. It's called Pecan Grove Park in the middle of the neighborhood. It's also close proximity to shopping and restaurants. One of my favorite Mexican food restaurants is close to La Cima, and it's right off of 380. So it's got such beautiful houses. But Jono, what all do you know about Lakes of La Cima?
It's got a lot of variety to it. You can find some deals in here if you're looking kind of in that 600 or less range. From time to time, those will crop up. If you don't mind putting a little elbow grease into a property, or maybe adding some of your own personal touches, paint, carpet, maybe adding a pool, things like that. There's a lot of development on 380, which Lakes of La Cima will benefit from that, just proximity, walking distance to, some shopping and things like that. But similar to Willow Ridge, it's got a lot of topography to the neighborhood. They sit right next to each other. You want to watch your speed on La Cima Boulevard. It is highly patrolled by local law enforcement.
Did you happen to get pulled over?
I may or may not have had some experience there, but that's for another time. Gosh, there's schools. If your kids are slated to go to Rogers, they can walk through the neighborhood. You've got the middle school that's right across from Lakes of La Cima on Coit. Some people don't like that the two apartment complexes are on the other side of that, but they're really nice complexes, so it's just one of those OG Prosper neighborhoods that has a lot of variety depending upon the street that you're on. It's another heavily populated golf cart community. So anyway, you can't go wrong with Lakes of La Cima.
So the last subdivision we're going to look at as far as Prosper goes before we head to Frisco is Saddle Creek. Now these homes are anywhere from $1 million to $2 million. It's super close to the high school and it's in a smaller neighborhood. So if that's something that you want, then you may want to start with Saddle Creek for small luxury.
Man, this is one of my favorite neighborhoods. They could have called it the neighborhood on the hill. It sits right at the intersection of Preston and Prosper Trail on the northwest corner. And on a clear day, depending upon where you are, you can see the Twin Towers in Denton. It's such a great view. The homes out there are beautiful. There's a good mix. Some of the homes from the mid 2000s all the way up to some current builds from 2022, 2023. Big houses, big lots. Surprisingly, it's not a gated community, but it's one of the premier neighborhoods in Prosper, if for no other reason than the views.
So I hope you guys enjoyed Prosper Subdivisions. I mean, Jono lives there and loves it. Yeah. So I've got him driving, I'm holding the camera, and now we're headed to Frisco to show you my side of town and the subdivisions there, and you guys can tell the difference between Prosper and Frisco, if there even is one.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So right now we're in Hunters Creek, and this is the only subdivision that we're highlighting east of the tollway because Hunters Creek typically always ranks high in subdivisions in all of Dallas-Fort Worth. I think it's because, one, it's well established, two, the pricing is better. I know that you guys have heard throughout this video a lot of $1 million house price points, and Hunters Creek is actually about that $690,000 to $900,000. So I think it's more affordable. Jono thinks It's way more affordable.
Yeah, for sure. You still get the master plan feel and look. It is in more of a grid pattern where some of the other properties we saw had a little bit more topography to the land. As you mentioned, you're on the east side of Frisco, which has its own host of benefits. It's a cute neighborhood. You can definitely see, the price matches the finish out. That's not to take anything away from it, but if you're looking for something in that sub 1 million ballpark, it's a mature neighborhood, big trees, looks like it's well maintained.
Yeah, and it's got a pool. It's got that big walking trail.
Yeah.
Very nature oriented on the walking trail. It's not a normal walking trail. It's more like a preserve walking trail. And I saw some playgrounds. So it seems to have really great amenities as well.
Yeah.
But we wanted to show you something that was a little bit more affordable in Frisco. And remember, you can still get into Frisco in the high 300s, low 400s, like I said earlier in the video. It's just they're fewer and far between, and they're going to be smaller homes and could even be ones that need updating.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Hunter's Creek. So Stonebriar Country Club is very much an icon when it comes to Frisco, Texas, because it was one of the very first golf course communities, luxury houses on the golf course, houses on the water, and it's smack dab in the middle. You're close to Stonebriar Country Club, Stonebriar Mall, restaurants, eating. You've got such a great course to play golf on. They actually started building Stonebriar in the 80s, so I'm not saying that you don't have the opportunity to come in and buy a house in Stonebriar that needs updating and maybe get a better price and then update it according to your own design. But there also are houses that have been built later in the 2000s that are a little more updated. But I have run into houses that are super dated in this community, so know that. I think gives you room to update what you want.
Yeah, I like that it's mature, it's established. You can easily get lost driving through it because it's not just on this grid pattern. There's some good topography to the neighborhood. Big trees, big for Texas, lots of water. And then geographically, you're right off 121 or Sam Rayburn Tollway. So you've got easy access to the airport. What are we, probably 25 minutes to DFW International Airport. You're super close to downtown Frisco, the Tollway, the Star, Legacy West, shops at Legacy. Just geographically speaking, it's in a great location, and that's a great golf course. It's a lot of fun to play. There's 2 golf courses in this neighborhood, so depending upon price point and finish out, like the neighborhood is done.
Yeah.
And some might even say you've kind of got a blank canvas if you wanted to come in and really make something your own. We're seeing a lot of houses with the tile roof, painted exteriors, and the homes are nice enough that you can really swing for the fences on landscaping and it doesn't look overdone.
Right, yes. And I would say that at the filming of this video, you could get into Stonebriar in the 600s, which is going to be a smaller house in probably an interior lot or a villa that's, 0 lot line, all the way up to almost 8 million. So you have a wide variety. So we're going right now to Chapel Creek. It's close to where I live. And what I love about Chapel Creek is that nobody talks about it anymore because it is an established neighborhood, but it's smaller and intimate and it's gated, but it's got a lot of lush plants and really great foliage, and it's just in this nook of the town, and I love it. So I want to show you guys around.
Okay, Chapel Creek. This is such a cool neighborhood. See, these were built early 2000s, right?
Yes.
Homes are big, beautiful, and I like that they are close together, most of these. You don't notice that. You notice the big mature trees and the pristine landscape lawns and the concrete and the brick. It feels like a neighborhood full of custom homes.
Yes.
They don't all look alike. A timeless neighborhood, and I think people that live here really appreciate that about it.
One of the things I love about it is it's centrally located and you can get anywhere in Frisco fast from where this isn't. It's right across the street from Frisco High School. All of these houses are going to range from about 1.8 million all the way up to 5 million. So it's got a pretty good price range for that luxury market.
Yeah, for sure.
So now we're in Newman Village, and I've actually done other videos on Newman Village, so I'll link them to this one so you guys can take a deeper dive if you'd like. But this neighborhood is so amazing because, first of all, it's only 5 miles from downtown Frisco, and it actually started to be developed in 2010. And what people love about this neighborhood is that all the houses are different from each other, so they're not cookie cutter. It's got a ton of amenities. So it's got a rec center, it's got a community pool, tennis courts, walking trails. And what's really cool about the community is they actually have huge community parties. So they have a snow sledding hill in the winter. They have a huge 4th of July party. They will do a community lemonade stand. There's just a lot of fun things that they do as a group of people that live at the same place. And that's one of the things I love about it. It's beautiful. It's actually one of the prettiest neighborhoods in Frisco.
It's so pretty, and it's still a young neighborhood, but the trees they're not these tiny little trees. It looks like there was intentionality. That's the word I was looking for. So even looking at some of these houses that are on the ends, or you see into the backyard, the brick and the wrought iron work with all the evergreen trees. So you still have the privacy, but you have the look and feel. Some of these homes almost have like a New Orleans style feel to them with the balconies,
yes,
overlooking the park. You got the sidewalks out front. It doesn't look like every other neighborhood in Frisco.
Yes, and these houses are going to range, at least currently, anywhere from 1 million all the way up to 4.5 million, depending on how big you want and what your taste is. So we hope that you loved this one, because so do we. So this is Starwood. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods. It's actually gated and guarded, if that's something that you're looking for. Starwood's actually one of the first elite neighborhoods in Frisco, and it is just beautiful because all the trees have had time to grow and make beautiful tree canopies. It's nearby to everything. Don't laugh at me, Jono.
You're gonna say make beautiful little tree babies, and you let me down.
No tree babies here.
No tree babies.
So the square footage of these homes range anywhere from 1,800 square feet to almost 15,000. So I feel like you have all types of houses and price range. It does go from 900,000 to 5 million. So if you are still wanting to get into a gated guarded under $1 million, that's possible. So Jono, what are your thoughts on this neighborhood?
From an architectural standpoint, being an expert on architecture.
Yes, very much.
Of course. I'm certified. It's cliche, but it feels like there's something for everybody. I mean, of course, in this price point, but you have the homes that have the good mix of brick and concrete and the big trees, but then you've also got the classic red brick, Americana. Depending upon the neighborhood, as you start getting into these bigger price points, the homes get pushed back. There's more distance between the houses. You see a lot of big circular drives, lots of columns, a lot of opulence. So depending upon who you are, who you want to impress, which in Frisco, let's be honest, this can be a thing, right? Especially if you're into entertaining and you need to make a presence or a statement with your home. This is one of those neighborhoods where you can really do that.
So obviously there's not a whole lot to show at the fields because they're just now starting. And I can show you out the window that there's just not a lot of houses yet. But that's what we love about this area, is the absolute equity someone's going to have by being one of the first to build out here. We just kind of wanted to show you again the fields. I know we keep talking about it, and Brookside South and Brookside North, and for you guys to remember that this community is it's being built next to Fields West, which I'll show you. If you look out this, it's all that way over there. That's going to be the preserve. And the preserve is the one that is anywhere from 3 million to 15 million. And Fields West is going to be 10 times the area of Legacy West, and it's going to have retail shopping, it's going to have water, it's going to have restaurants on the water, it's going to have a freaking Ritz-Carlton, it's going to be luxury, and it's going to be walkable, so you can literally build here in the Fields in Brookside and walk to Fields West. And they're saying that Fields West will have everything that you would need as far as groceries, shopping, coffee shops, working out, office space, hotels, you name it, they're going to have it. Plus, Brookside's going to have an amenity center. It's going to have a community pool. And we were just told that Brookside is going to have its own private tunnel onto the PGA. So it's going to be epic. I know I keep saying it, but I'm going to tell you again. Jono, how do you feel about this?
Look at that freaking view.
I'm going to show y'all. Oh, wait, here we go.
You're in arguably the hottest part of the city. There's more development out here. Everywhere you look, off in the distance, you see cranes. But that's an indicator of prospective growth. And this is all raw dirt. They're preparing the land, and the lot premiums, girl. Because you feel like you're sitting, especially being in Texas. Like we're not known for our elevation changes.
No.
But you can barely see those cranes over there because the hill is so big, and it butts right up next to the two courses that are going to be at the PGA. Like this is going to be a destination.
Yeah, it really will be.
But people from all over the country are going to come and stay at the Omni Resort.
Yes.
It's not a hotel, it's a resort. You're right next door to the PGA and the Monument Realty Entertainment District.
Yes.
Just the partnerships and, quite frankly, the money that's coming into this, to say nothing of Frisco schools and all that entails. Well, and I've had people say, John, I'm an empty nester. I don't really care about Frisco schools. Which, you know who does care about Frisco schools?
The person that's going to buy your house when you list it.
Well, yes. So you've got future value because of the school system and its proximity to the city and the Cowboys and the golden corridor that's being developed through here. But think about the people that you want to be neighbors with.
Yes.
Think about what they do for a living. Think about what sort of careers and entrepreneurs, and these are going to be the people that you're surrounded by when you're driving in your golf cart to just go grab a coffee.
Yes.
Or let's go get 9 holes in, and you pull over and you talk to other people in the community that are in their golf carts.
Yes.
And the exciting things that are happening in their world from a business standpoint, like birds of a feather flock together. Mm-hmm. So I think it transcends school system, but it's what type of clientele does the school system attract?
Yep.
And who are the people that you want to be neighbors with? I think school system plays a big part of that. Whether you participate or your children participate in the schools or not.
So, again, there's not a ton to see house-wise here, but you can see the development and how epic it's going to be. So we hope that you enjoyed the field. So Edgestone's actually a newer community, and it's right off the Dallas North Tollway. So if you need quick access to the highway to get to Dallas or to the rest of Frisco, this is a really great place to be. One thing I love about the neighborhood is it actually has 2 community pools instead of just one at both ends. It's got 2 playgrounds, it's got walking trails, but still has a very well-priced HOA. I think it's around $1,500 a year, give or take. So, Jono, what are your thoughts on this neighborhood?
Well, in contrast, these are newer homes, so it's not as mature and developed. The trees are smaller, but they're newer homes. They're more current with where we're seeing building trends. Shattuck is a prominent builder in here, as I'm a big Shattuck fan. Shout out to Shattuck and company.
Me too.
But yeah, there's a good mix of, traditional Texas homes. You've got some Mediterranean and Spanish style. So there's a lot of variety to it. And again, geographically, you've got easy access to 121, Legacy. B.F. Phillips Community Park is right here. We're just to the east of B.F. Phillips, so a lot of sports complex.
Yeah.
You're super close to Reedy High School. Location-wise, it's just in a really great spot, and you're on the west side of the tollway. Some would say the newer side.
Yes, and all the houses currently are anywhere from that $1 million mark all the way up to $3 million. Some are smaller lot sizes, and some I've shown houses that are on almost a half acre in here with huge backyards and amazing pools. So it really just depends on what you guys are looking for.
All right, guys, that was a really amazing walkthrough of Prosper and Frisco and kind of giving you the ins and outs. What do you think?
I feel like we missed something. Did we miss anything?
If we did, you guys drop below. If there are subdivisions that we did not highlight and you want to know about them, comment below and we will get that information, or we'll even make another video because that's what we do. So thanks for Jono joining us, and thank you guys for watching our video, and until the next time, we will see you guys later.